Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's topics of discussion, I'm going to tell you guys a story. This is a story that I've been telling so many people, and I've gotten like a lot of funny responses from it. Like, this whole situation was hilarious, which it wasn't. But since so many people love this story, let me share it with you. So it was January 1st. My sister and my best friend, we planned on meeting each other in New York City to go to Pier 94 to see Travis Scott in concert for the countdown. That was the plan. So anyways, my best friend told me about these plans December 30th. So I kind of really didn't want to go because I'm the kind of person that likes to save my money. I don't like to spend it. But because I haven't seen her in so long, I was like, you know what? Why not? You only live once. Let's bring in the new year. You know, happy, reunited stuff. That was my intention. So she's like, yeah, let's go, let's go. She was like, I want to come with you. Let's do this, let's do that. Throwing all these ideas at me. And I'm like, hold up. Let's have a concrete plan. At the end of the day, we still never had a concrete plan. She wanted to come with me and my sister, and then she ended up taking the train at 9 a.m. in the morning while I was still in bed, telling me, oh, I'm on my way there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just meet up with you, whatever. She suggested that me, her, and my sister and her other friends, you know, hang out at her other friend's Manhattan apartment. And I thought that was kind of stupid because me and my sister have a brother who lives in that area in New York. So what's the point of that? It's easier for us. So something happened with my sister's car, and it took us 2 hours later to get there. She ends up coming to my house at, I think, 6 o'clock p.m. The show started at 10. Yeah, the show started at 10. She comes to my house at 6 p.m. Yes. So anyways, we're on our way there. We're driving. Just a really crazy train of events that occurred on our way to New York. You know, we see guys hanging on buses, texting. Like, he was literally on the back of the bus holding on, no lie, at night, and he was texting on his iPod, like on his iPhone, like nothing. Like, oh yeah, you know, this is normal transportation, like everyone does it. Like, come on, it's the trend, guys. Everybody does it out here. No, I've never seen that before in my life. No! Oh my god, this dude is crazy.
What the fuck?
But anyways, so we're driving there. We got lost a couple times. We didn't get stopped by any traffic, which was a huge surprise. We ended up getting to my brother's house. I got ready in like 2.2 seconds. My sister had to do her hair. She had to take a shower. She had to do all this other different kind of stuff. So I was kind of like anxious to go. So long story short, my best friend was like, oh, you know, we're on our way there. So me and my sister, we take the train down there to the concert. We got lost a couple times. We didn't know what we were doing, and it was kind of cold. It was like super cold. And anyways, it was 11:58, and we're on the train getting ready to go to Pier 94 to see this concert. Okay, it was 11:58. We're like, oh my gosh, we're not gonna make it on time. We're not gonna make it for the ball drop. Oh my gosh, we're not gonna make it. So we're like, oh my gosh, just be calm, just be cool. We're gonna make it, whatever. You know, everybody on the train was like really cool. It was like really fun and stuff. And we finally make it there at 11:59. We hopped off the train, and then we jumped in a taxi, and then we got there in a minute. So we were there at 11:59. Then the security told me and my sister that we had to split up for some reason. So I'm in this huge concert. Like 2,000 people were there. It was a rave. It was the Chainsmokers and Travis Scott. It was crazy. So I'm there by myself. My sister's not even with me. The first thing I see when I walk in, it's just everybody's doing drugs and stuff like that. And that wasn't something that I was expecting. I was more expecting like a regular concert, but it's the Chainsmokers and it was a rave. So duh. I'm like, oh my gosh, the countdown, it's about to be 12, whatever. So as they're counting down, me and my sister are like, we're like, where are you? I'm by the door, I'm coming. Turn around, there she is. So we're like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we made it on time. It was hilarious. I texted my best friend, I'm like, where are you? She's like, I'm in the front. Let me just explain to you what being in the front means. That means that me and my sister are here. She's here. We're here, and She's here. And let's talk about itty bitty little people. This whole perimeter was packed with people. We were like sardines in this place. We had to like get by each other. I was holding on to people so they could take me up there. It was crazy. So by the time that we got up there, you know, we were dancing, having a good time. We still didn't get to see her. So it was about like an hour in or something like that. Me and my sister got really bored. It was a rave. We had on suede heels. Everybody was drinking alcohol. Everybody was going crazy, stepping on my brand new suede heels, black, stepping on my skin, sweating all over me, hitting me. Everybody was all crazy, acting crazy. They were like trying to fight with me because I was pushing them. Everybody was pushing me, so I was pushing them. My sister was clutching onto her Michael Kors bag. She was like, I want to get out of here. I want to go home. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, I'm like, my best friend, like, where are you? So she's like, oh, I'm outside. I'm like, perfect. Stay right there. I'll meet you there. We get out there. I'm like, where are you? Oh, I'm in an Uber. We're going back to the apartment. Just meet me there. Just meet me there. No, that wasn't the plan. Like, why didn't you wait for me, you know? So anyways, she left and we're like, let's just go back to our brother's house. So we're trying to catch a taxi on January 1st. The odds of that happening are very, very slim. So we're there with all these other people. We're like, oh, we're trying to get a taxi, whatever, whatever. Long story short, we didn't get a taxi, okay? They were all full. So no Uber for us either because something was going on with my sister's car. So we ended up walking 5 blocks in 30-something degree weather in heels. Well, I had flats. We walked 5 blocks back to the train station. So we're in there, we're kind of cold. We see throw up everywhere. There's drunk people everywhere. It's crazy. It's about 10, 11, 12, 1. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. We're tired. We just want to go back to our brother's house and sleep. And then that same day, this guy that I'm talking to, actually, we've been talking for 2 years. He's my best friend. He told me that he was moving to North Carolina that same day. We have never been apart for more than an hour. And you're telling me that you're moving on a one-way ticket to go handle his business. And I'm just like, this is just a really crappy day. So I really didn't want to stay in New York City for too long. I just wanted to do what we got to do, go back home so I could spend the rest of the day with him and then move on with my life from there. So we get lost at the train station. There's blah, 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 blah. So I'm walking and I'm like, I feel kind of weird. I'm like, why do I feel wet? Like, why do I feel like I'm wet? Like, I'm like, wet. So I asked her, I was like, can you check me to see if because I guess I was on my period, and I was like, can you see if I'm whatever? And she was like, no, you're good, you're good. I was like, okay. So as I'm walking, I feel weird. So I go to sit down at the train station. So we sit down, we got the train, we sat down on the train, and I slid over so she can sit down. So I look down and I see a whole, you already know. Okay, I see some crap, okay? And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this is not happening, this is not happening, this is not happening. So I just felt like crap. So we were sitting there and then we ended up getting off and I ran really fast and I was like, Natasha, is there anything? She's like, oh crap. This is my butt, like my jeans. The stain was like that big. It's my butt, and it was about that big. I didn't bring a purse, I didn't bring nothing, and I wasn't prepared for this to happen. So it caught me off guard. It caught us all. It caught New York City off guard. And I had to walk around like that for 5 more hours. I was sitting on like this plastic bag so that I wouldn't get it all over the place. It was just really disgusting. And it was just a terrible, terrible time. Long story short, we went to a shuttle bus. So we asked around, we're like, oh, is this the right place that we need to be because we're kind of lost? So one guy said yes, and another guy said no. I trusted the guy that said yes because it was about 3 o'clock in the morning and I just wanted to get home. My sister trusted the guy that said no. So I turn around, I'm like, Natasha, don't. The guy said yes. I turn around and she heads right for the door. Everyone on the train is like, no! The doors, boom. I'm standing by the doorway and she's standing on the other side, outside of the doorway. And I'm like, Natasha, no! The doors, I'm like, no! They close right in front of our face. Everyone on the shuttle is like, ooh. yeah, ooh, what are we supposed to do now? And I'm banging on the door like, no. And she was like, I'm gonna stand right here, okay? I'm like, dang it. So I asked him, trying not to cry, and I'm like, what do I do now? What do I do now? So he's like, you have to do it all over again. So I did it all over again. It's about 4:30 a.m. and now I'm outside by myself for the first time in New York City alone, where like you catch the shuttle buses in the dark by myself. And I see this guy all the way in the corner on the other side of the tracks, and he's staring at me, and I'm like pacing back and forth, and I'm really nervous, and I'm like, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen to me, something's gonna happen to me, something's gonna happen to me. I was so terrified. Plus our phones died, so we had no way of texting each other, communicating with each other, calling 911, no nothing. Like, we were in a tight situation. So then the guy, I watch him, and I see him walking towards the stairs to go downstairs to come on my side really slow. And I'm like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh god, oh god. Hyperventilating, I'm like, oh god. So then I back up from the stairs, and I see his little head creeping up, coming up the stairs, and I'm like, and he's like, calm down, girl, the shuttle bus is coming now. And I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Like, you're not a crazy stalker, molester person. You are an angel. Thank you. So I get back on the shuttle bus, and I'm in a cart by myself, alone. Anything could have happened. It was the most scariest thing of my life. Like, it was something that I will never forget. I was alone in the cart by myself on New Year's Day at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm a female, and it was just a very scary thing. With the things that are going on in today's world, you do not want to get caught in a cart by yourself when a group of people, whatever, want to use that cart. Anyways, I saw the NYPD, so I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, like, my name is Gigi, I lost my sister. I literally see my sister standing exactly where she said she was gonna be, and I was like, never mind, whatever. So I went back to my sister, and we're like, oh my god, oh my god, we're like screaming, you know how sisters do, we're like, oh my gosh, bugging out. And then, what else happened? We go back onto the right shuttle train, the right shuttle thing, bus, whatever you want to call it. So the street number that we parked the car on, I thought it said like 147, and I kept saying, no, it's 147, 147. I remember that street because I asked Siri and she told me it's 147. So we get to the street finally after 10 billion hours of walking, of hiking, of taking train after train, shuttle, our accidents, this, our phones dying. We finally get there. We're like, yes, we're gonna make it home. I was like, yes, I'm gonna make it home to see him in time. So I turn on my phone, and I got like a little bit of battery left, and the phone said, not 147, 417. Like, we were so angry. She was so mad, she was just calm. She was so angry, she was just like, okay, let's just walk up to that shop. We walk up to the shop. We see this guy standing out there, so she's like, let's ask him if we can use his phone to call a taxi. So I asked the guy, and I was like, yeah, you know, we're lost, and I kind of briefly told him about our situation. So he's like, okay, I'll call you guys a taxi. So let's just go into the corner store, and so that you guys can stay warm. And I was like, thank you so much. I haven't drank anything, I didn't eat anything since we got to New York, which was at 6 p.m. And this was now 4:35. No, it was 5 a.m. now. And I was so thirsty. I was so tired. I was stressed out. I wanted to cry. It was just a really terrible time. So he bought me a drink, like a naked drink, and he called the taxi. He waited on the phone with the taxi. You know, they weren't coming. So after a while, me, him, and my sister, we walked all the way down to the taxi station. He walked us there at night. He was like, I'm not gonna leave you guys. It's too dangerous. You picked the worst part to park your car. This is one of the most dangerous parts in New York. Like, it's a really bad place. So he walked us down there. So they're like, oh, it's late, like, blah blah blah, hold on, blah blah blah, like causing an issue, the taxi place. So the guy, the man that I was with, he crossed the street to another taxi guy, and he's like, please make sure these girls get home safe, please make sure these girls get to their car safe, please please please. And he's like, okay, chill, whatever, I got you. So we go into the car, me and my sister. He gives the taxi guy like $40 to take us 7 minutes from the car. Like, the car is 7 minutes away, and he's giving him like $40. He's like, girls, it was nice talking to you. God bless you guys. All I could do was say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What if we didn't see him? What if he was a psychopath? Then what could have happened? We got so lucky that night. It's ridiculous. Like, the power of faith, y'all. We get to the car and we're like so exhausted. We just sat there and didn't really say much. We were just like still in shock. Like, did all this just really happen? Can I pinch myself? Can I wake up now? No, it wasn't a dream. It was real life. This is my real life. And I'm like, okay, let's go home. So we drive back to my brother's house. Well, we get White Castle first, of course. Like, how are you not going to be in New York and not get White Castle? We get White Castle. So we just ended up staying at my brother's house. And I was kind of depressed because I wanted to see the guy that I want to see him before he leaves. And I was just really sad and felt like, I don't know, I just felt like the world was turning against me. So we woke up the next morning. I set my alarm clock and we were out the door. My sister was like going like almost 100 on the highway just so I could make it to see him. I cried the whole entire time because I didn't want him to leave. But all in all, it was a fun experience. It was so bad that it was a fun experience. Even after everything that happened to me, I still had a fun time. Like, this is something I won't ever forget. This is something that was very exciting, and I brought in the New Year's awesome. Like, it was so awesome. I brought it in so freaking awesome, and I would do it again if I could, but just like in a different way. I ended up saying goodbye to him at the train station, and that's how we got lost in New York City on New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. So for a year we were lost. That was whack. Thank you guys for watching this YouTube video. Thank you guys for hearing my story and taking the time out of your lives just to hear my unfortunate story, but it ended up being awesome in the end. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up this video if you like this video. If you like the story, if you thought the story was funny, thumbs it up. Write in the comments below what you thought of my story and if you ever got lost. And tell me about your story. I want to know, is your story as bad as mine? Can anything be as bad as this, really? Well, yes, of course, of course, of course. But you know what I mean. Thank you guys so much, and thank you guys all for supporting me and being there for me from the beginning. I really do love you guys with all my heart. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye!